Hello everyone, welcome to the God Stack. It's a new day, it's a new life. Today, here we are, me and Bruno, together to do another live for you, help you understand this world of software development. Good night, good afternoon, good, I don't know how things are for you, Bruno. Bruno, can you hear me? I don't think that Bruno can hear me. But I can hear you. I believe that your microphone is not working. I think your microphone is not working. Yeah. Yeah, Bruno is out for a moment. Well, meanwhile, Bruno is trying to solve his audio problems. I really need to look at that. It's 51 files to commit. I don't even know where to start. I should not let so many files to do. So this is just adding, and then I've added storybook and all of that. I didn't even inserted storybooks to production, isn't it? Actually, I should do that. So let's just do stories, DGS. There you go. So I've added that. This is locally, the name is not SPA. This is wrong. This should be, wait, what? Yeah, it's this one. So let's copy it, and then let's go to local, and then let's paste it here. Nice. Last live we worked with storybooks. So if you want to know or understand how storybook works, how would you use it, why, and all of that, you can go to the video, the VOD that's in the live. Well, actually, I didn't push it to YouTube yet, so it's not on YouTube yet, but you can check it on Twitch. Okay, so let's save it at, well, into production. What? Where's the SPA into production? Tell me how you feel about it. Okay. So, and then what's changed here? Actually, we should do something like that. Stories. Okay. And into production, I'm not even going to move that right now. I believe that we should do a special live just to work with the Via Voclam member, welcome to the God Stack. Cenobite of SAC, welcome to the God Stack. Domination, AI Domination, welcome to the God Stack. It's really nice to have you guys all here. I did some lives in the weekend, but it was not about what we are doing here. What we are doing here is just from. Let me connect that. Yes, so I can see the chats. Let me see. Bruno sent me a message. Nodejs capturing muted you. Let me just check it. Bruno is here. No, you're not muted for me, Bruno. And the strange is I can see you being green, just like as you were saying something, but I can hear you. Yeah, it seems that you were. Let me try to. Yeah, it's automatically muted. What the hell? What the hell's going on with Discord? Hello, Discord. Can you work, please? Sound seems to be everything okay. It's okay. Yeah. You're right, Bruno. It's some problem with my. Yeah. Because I can see your screen being green around. So this means that you are saying something, but I can't hear you. And why? Let me see in the sounds. This is OBS, everything is turned on and seems to be working. Oh man, I hate when these kind of problems. I know that's Discord the problem. So let me try to it's a route in Discord, but how do I solve this problem? Let me try to connect Discord through the browser and see what happens. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah, now it's working, but it's just working in the browser. The official Discord installation and all that is not working.
Okay.
I don't know why.
But now you hear me. You hear
Yeah,
me clear.
clearly.
Okay.
It's really good, actually. So, well, I will just use the browser version right now, so we can, keep going. Yeah. And oh no, if I close, I'm sorry. If I close Discord, you're gonna disappear from the live. Let's open Discord and then let's just connect here. I can choose one or another. Yeah, that's pretty sucks. Okay, so can you say something? I just want to test. Yeah. How I'm going to do that? Because if I connect, yeah, if I connect to the browser, I can hear you, but your webcam is not going to appear in the live. And if I connect through Discord, I can't hear you, but shit. Try to say something now. Yeah. Oh man. I think that I already solved that once, but I don't remember how. No, not that, not that, not that. Voice and videos. Should be something here. Uh, Can you say something?
Hello, hello.
Nice. Nice. It works.
Are you
Beautiful.
hearing me now?
Yeah, I can hear you and all that. It was, I
Nice.
don't know, I just clicked redefine everything and just reset this shit and then it works. Yeah. Well.
Okay.
So, in the last live, I worked, well, the last live from Tuesdays and Thursdays, I worked with a storybook. So I've installed a storybook and explained to people how to work with that. Not that difficult actually. Let me just, well, I've just added the, wait, what? What's the material you, okay, because we are working with material, okay. And well, I've just added storybook, so it's here, all this information, and it's created this folder, okay. Actually, let me share my screen to you because it's better for you if you can see my screen. That's like faster for you. So and then this is automatically created, so we didn't change anything here. We did change things here. So if you want to make Storybook work with all the providers that you already have, theme providers, Apollo client, and all of that, you need to wrap all the stories. So this is a decorator. So every single story you create is gonna call these, and then we are gonna wrap our story through providers. So in order to do that, I've changed my index. So my index is just like that. I've created a providers. This providers is just all the providers I've got into my application. Okay, so right now this is the app or the stories. This means that now the storybook can get the same providers I have in my application. So all the themes and all that's gonna work, and that's good. And I believe I've created stories for button. So let's just try it. And then I'm gonna show you these stories. And now you will understand the importance of the prop types. So let's just get that. So it's gonna be stories dot local dot tgs.com. There we go. So here I have my login. I have a input field and I do have a button, so I can change the options here, and I can change, for example, what's inside the button. So I can just type, for example, okay, it needs to be just like that, I believe. Yeah. So I can change everything that's inside. I can define on click full width. So you can check in the storybook your component. This means that when you are working with your application, you don't need to create all the pages and everything. You can create just one component, and this component you can use storybook to see how your component are going to be in the end. Another thing I like to do that I didn't in the last one is just to create a div here, and then let's just style that div, style equals, of course, and then let's just do a display flex and justify content center and ally items center, and height, it's gonna be 100 of the viewport. This what? Okay, and I need, of course, to close my div. There we go. So let's just do that. And there we go. So every time I have anything from Storybook, it's always gonna be centered. Ooh, and it's working. There it's working. Nice. There you go. So I can check a input with an error and an input without an error. So we can check what happens. You can even log in if you want to. You can add an error message, some error, and then you can check how the error is gonna be on the screen. So Storybook, it's lit as hell because you have all these functionalities. The project I'm working with, we are using Storybook, and now I'm getting a little bit more friends with Storybook, and this is making my day way better because I can do things faster. Because, for example, when I'm developing yesterday I was working with an icon. So actually there was a base, and then the top of the base will be an icon, and it will be different types of buttons. It was an icon button, but it was actually I believe I can show you because it's not something that would be any kind of problem. Let me just see. So I was working with that today. So there we go. I'm gonna have these floating action buttons, So I have these. This is enable, hover it, focus it, press it. So actually I just created one that has the base, and then you can pass any icon you want to, and then the different props will give you back different components. So actually I just did one, and the other ones was just by props. You can change it. So I did everything in the Storybook. I don't even needed to work with the application today. I just focused on that, saw everything on the Storybook, and was lit as hell. So in the end of the day, I had everything that I needed in order the buttons. And then when I needed to use this button, the application was just like, get the component, use the button, and you are good to go. That was really, really nice.
Very beautiful buttons.
Really
cool.
That one. The guy that
The story.
The guy that's working with me, the designer, he's a real experienced and a real good.
And be able to see all the variations are very nice as well.
Actually the project I can show the buttons because it's just buttons, so no problem. But I would really like to show you the project because there is a lot of things that it's really well organized, and you can see everything. He just create colors in different points to say, hey, this task is related to that. He does that in the design, so it's delicious to work with that kind of designers. But the guy is really good, really experienced. So he worked for a German. He's German, but he worked for a German market a company for a lot of times. He developed a lot of different websites, and he's pretty good, and it's really awesome. So we are working with storybooks actually, so I'm getting used to that. Am I liking a lot because you just develop, for example, when you started to do any different thing, you just create the stories. It's not that difficult to create a story. You just import the React, import the component you want to, and then you just need to export this default. This object, it's the where will your component be in the application. For example, the title, components, atom, button. If you go here, it's gonna be components, atoms, and then button. And then you have, for example, a small button, and then you could put, for example, if we wanted to, we could do something like large button, and then you just press large, save it, you go back. Now you have a small button and large button. Then you can see both of them. Of course, when you have a button, you can just change in here to check how would it be. But how do I know that the size is SM, MD, and LG? I just know that because if you go to my button, I have these options in the prop types. So all the things that are defined in the prop types will appear in the controls, and then you can see all the options that you've got here. So if you do the rest thing, everything that's in the rest will not appear in the thing automatically. So if you document your application, it's gonna be better for you in the future for anything else you're going to work with. Okay, but that's not what I want to do. What I want to do, actually, let me just see. This is email workers. Okay, this one, this one, this one, this one. Let me see, what's that? Okay, this is the storybook, yeah. This is gonna be the sand grid, so it's there. This one, and then this one. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one. This is all, yeah. And this is all about stories, and okay. We'll add email. We'll add worker to send a email. So let's just add that, and then all the rest it's about what's the word when you refactor UI and add storybook. Okay, there you go. So I'm just send it. So what are we gonna do today? This is our mission, and our mission is to work with Cypress. Okay, Cypress, if you live under a rock and don't know what Cypress is a framework to create automated tests in your application. You can think of Cypress of something independent of your application, so it's not needed to be attached to your application, because you can actually access any site you want on the internet with Cypress, and then test whatever you want to. But of course, you're not going to do that. You're not going to test Google, for example. What you want actually is to test a real application. Okay, so we are going to do that with ours. And let's go to the docs. Okay, always read the manual. This is really important if you want to work with something. So why Cypress? Get started installing Cypress. This is the important part. Okay, so in order to have Cypress working in your application, why is the music stopped? Let's choose something epidemic, gens moods. Let's get no, not mood gens. Electronic, yeah, we can get beats today. So glamorous, wow, running. Nice. It's gonna be that one. Okay. Nice. So, if you want Cypress running in your machine, you need all these libraries in your application. So, what are we gonna do? We are gonna go to our SPA registry development Docker file, and as you can see, we have all these libraries, and these libraries is all here just because we need that for Cypress, if you want Cypress running in our computer. But actually we are going to run Cypress locally, so we are going to run Cypress in our terminal outside the Docker containers. So if you are working with Linux, you should add these libraries to your system. Of course, I've already did that, so we are safe. Okay, so if you want to install Cypress, it's just, you know, the save dev things, and let's do that. So docker execute at spa yarn add development Cypress, and Cypress will be installed in our project. Okay, actually I did that one, but it's okay. And then these would be no, just that. Something, it's binary caches. This is all just running the binaries and mirroring. Something, it's not right. There are actually a way to init Cypress in our application. It's not showing in the manual. I don't know why. This is just writing. So okay. Let's just do Cypress install, because command line, yes. Yes, I can get that. Okay, it's installed. Now I need to go into the SPA folder, and let me just make it bigger for everyone it's there, and then you can just run the Cypress. Okay, Cypress install. We need to run Cypress install first. This step, it's not in the manual. They should update the manual. But okay, it's right here, so no problem at all. So it's gonna to download the executables for Cypress, and let's just run it. Yeah, you are absolutely right. So, but there's a way to do that automatically. Cypress help. I believe that's Cypress init or something. Wow, where is that? You may find easier Cypress script to check your package JSON file. Okay, I can do that. and want to run the test in single. Okay, not that. Okay, okay. Yeah, but it creates for me all automatically. Why is not doing that? I believe I missed some steps. No, I didn't. It just say cypress run. Okay, okay, okay. You may find easier to add cypress commands to script object. Uh-huh. Yeah. Cypress init. They had let's create a new file in the okay, but it's not that manual. It's not good at all, because actually I need to create a cypress .json in the root of my folder in order to work. But as I don't have that, let me okay, well, let's just go with the manual. This is the command browser. What's the command line? Installing writing here first. Yeah, this one. So I need a folder called Cypress and integration. Okay, so let's just do that. New folder Cypress, and then new folder integration. Okay, so I have a Cypress integration, and then I will just create my first new file. It can be the sample. Let's just follow the manual, and then we change to anything that we need to. Okay. Once create the file, we should see Cypress test running immediately. Okay. So it's saying that now the Cypress run will work. Could not find Cypress. Will not find Cypress. Okay, I can create this file. New file cypress.json, and it's gonna be empty. Okay, it's a JSON. Yeah. Ooh. Okay. What I actually wanted Cypress open, isn't it? Yeah. There we go. So when you run Cypress open, it's gonna open that for you. Okay. And here are my files, so I can choose from Firefox, Electron, or Chrome. I will just keep in Chrome right now, and then you can just run the tests. This test has nothing, so there is nothing to be done. Okay, so let's just write some kind of example. So let's just test that. Okay, so let's create something like context, and let's create it Google. Okay, so this is we are just going to get to Google. Okay, and it's just like Jest, as we know. just before. So let's just will access Google. Okay, and then we just have a function, and then this function we could do the ci.visit. Then we are going to do http google.com. Okay, then let's run it again and see what happens. So as you can see, it just go to Google and visit Google. Okay, there you go. This is the Google web page. So you can actually test any page you want to, but what the page that we really want to test, it's our own. Okay, so this is about the linked, isn't it? So I actually need to go to the AS linked, and I believe that when we are working with Cypress, we need to add a plugin. That's this one, plugin Cypress, and then we do the recommended. Okay, let's check. There we go. So we don't have any more errors in our linting. It's just adding that. Nice. So my application is running here. So instead of accessing Google, let's, for example, access our application. Okay, there you go, and let's check. So it accesses our application, and so this means that if you are working with these the Cypress, now you are in the website, and then you can do anything you want to. But instead of signing, let's just check if it goes to signing. Perfect. Okay, so now that we are in the signing, what we are going to do is something like ci.get. Okay, so it's gonna get some element on the page. So let's check for that. SPA signing. Signing. So that's the element. Let's just check. How would we get that? So this is an input. Where's the? This is an input. Input type text. So I think that I can get that just calling input exactly, and then the name, username. I believe this is gonna get the input field, and then you can do something. For example, you can type in the field something. For example, username. Okay, let's check the test and see what it's doing. So it couldn't get the username because I believe that I need, if I don't mistaken, I need to add to the signing form, input an ID username. Then let's run it again. Oh, there you go. So as you can see, Cypress accessed the web page that I've told you before. That's spa.localtgs.com/signing, and then it fetch for the input with the ID username, and in that input it typed username. Okay, and then what I wanted to do it should do the same thing for the password. Password. Okay, there you go. So let's go back to the test, and let's do our first test. Okay, so if I get this input and I've typed username, so this input should have value. Oh, have value. What value should be there? Username. Okay, there you go. So this is the first test, and the test is passing. So let's just copy it, okay, and paste it, okay, and then instead of username, let's get password, and let's just get a password, okay, and then have value password. Oh, password. There we go. So all the tests are passing, and as you can see, if I hover, let me just make it bigger for you at home. If I hover this part of my Cypress, it will show you the history. For example, this is accessing, this is getting the input username, this is typing the username in there, as you can see before and after, and then it goes and say I expect the input username to be a username there, and then finds the password, types the password, okay, and expect that password it's there.
Yeah, really cool, because sometimes when we are doing tests, building tests, we have difficult to see what is happening just by seeing the terminal. But very nice.
Yeah, Cypress is really awesome. Actually, I'm not really the best one working with Cypress today. Uh, I know how to use it. I use it that well at some point. So what I'm saying is I'm not the best, but I can show you a lot of tricks that we can do in order to use Cypress. But there is a lot to study. I had to study a lot about Cypress, how to work with it, and do all the testing and things like that. But we have on our career backend, database, front end, mobile, QA. Then you have all the management things, PO, PM. You have the designers, and so it's a lot of things to know. Really, 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 really lot of things to know. And if you don't take care, you're gonna be a little bit lost, you know. So what I'm trying to do here in this life, it's help you to experience a little bit of everything, and then you can choose what are you going to need to use in the projects that you have in your everyday. Okay. For example, do you need to use stories? No. Do you need to use Cypress? No. Do you need to do the tests? Do you need to make everything in different different layers? No, you don't need to do that. Do you need to use atomic design? No. Do you need to use some material UI or something? No, you don't need to do that. Do you need to use TypeScript, or do you need to do well, the answer is always depends, because it actually depends on the project that you're doing, on everything. But what I want to do is to give you the opportunity to understand a little bit of everything. So if anyone look at you and say, have you ever, you're gonna say, yes, I've ever. So you know Cypress now. You know what it is doing, and if you want to go more, if you want to go more profound on that, you can do that. Okay, I forgot to read the chat. Deborah was saying in the chat, hey, it's Cypress open, and I was here, oh my god, it's not working. And she was with the answer there. I'm sorry. I will try to make this like that so I can see better the chat. There we go. So if I want to get a for example, a button, how would I do that? I can get the button by the type of the button, okay? Because there is just one submit in this screen, and I want to have just one submit in this screen. So let's just save it and check if it's really getting the login button. As you can see, it's highlighted. And so how do you make it submit? It's really simple. You just do the click, and let's see what happens. So it clicked in the button, and now it's showing invalid username or password, because these username and password are not a valid one. I don't know if we have actually a valid sign up. Actually, we could do the sign up and then the signing. Let's do that. So we're going to change that. Instead of being the sample inspect, it's gonna be the sign in JS. Okay, so let's create another one, sign up.js. Okay, and the context is not Google. Well, no problem. Another thing that we can do, instead of doing that, I'm just gonna copy these, okay, and then do sign up. And instead of just writing the URL in there, we can import it from we have that in the src environment. Yes, environment, and then I can get the HTTP SPA URL. Yeah. So now I can do something like that, and then this signing is gonna be here. Let's just go to let's go back. Let's go to sign up and see if it works. Yeah, it works. So I've just imported the SPA, the variable from the environment. So for example, if I'm running Cypress into a CI, just like Git, we could just get what is in the environment and use it. And I'm just gonna do something here that's gonna be before each. Okay, if you call that function, for every it you have, it before it starts the it will do the before each. Okay, so that's it's doing. So for every it I write, it's gonna access the signing. Okay, and I believe that's this keep working. Let's check. Yeah, it keeps working, and as you can see, it's fast as fuck. Okay, but I don't want it to run the signing. I want to go to the sign up. Will sign up a user. Okay, so the username is gonna be Breno. Okay, and then of course we need to have value that. Oh, now I need to get every single one from the sign up form, isn't it? So let's just do that. So we have the sign up form, input ID. Oh, beautiful. We have the input ID. So it's gonna be the name. Let's save it and see what happens. Right, it works actually because it goes to the username and password. Now we just need to go to the, well, let's just copy that, and then let's go to the field name, and this is gonna be Breno Mazieiro. Okay, and then let's just check it if it's there. There you go, it's fitting everything. So if I just do that, and then let's get the email. I'm just going to do the famous happy path. So I'm just going to check if the, if everything that should work, it's working. So let's check that. As you can see, it does the name, email, username. So it's just go different. It doesn't do things in the order because I didn't put it in the order. So let's just, what's the name of the other one? It's confirm password. Okay, so let's just copy it. Password, and the field is confirm password. Confirm password. Okay, password. Nice. So what is it working? Password. Oof. It worked so fast. It worked so fast that when I did that, it's just now the email already has been taken. Let's just make go. Let's remove the database. Okay, and then let's just Docker compose up again. There we go. So I don't have the user here. Let's just remove that. So I want it to actually, I don't want it to work. Yeah. So type A, and then let's check. Okay. It's black with black, but I believe that there is a text in there. So let's inspect it, and I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. Okay. So do I have an ID for this thing? I don't have an ID for that. And actually we should create an ID for that. We have this class. So we need to add an ID to the input label. This is sign up. There you go. So the sign up, we should add an ID to the label at input in the error. let's just get to that. Wrapper, this one. So where's the ID? It's the input ID. Okay, let's call it, this is gonna be an ID. Of course, I cannot put the same name. So what I'm gonna do the error and then the name of the input. So let's just check that, rerun it, do. So this is an error, and let's inspect it. And there we go. Confirm. No. This is the error. Yeah, here you go. Error, confirm password. So I need now to check. We'll sign up user. Let's call it with. Will not sign up a user with different. I don't know if it's written correctly. Data CI, data QA. Yeah, I know that I can do the data. Yes, I know the yeah, and then you can get absolutely. So if the manual said us to do that, let's do that. I like to use the IDs, but I believe that Albus, it's right. You can just get that. So instead of in the label input, instead of using ID, you can use the data CI. But the thing is, how do I get that? Data CI. Oh, nice. Hello, Guilherme. Welcome to the God Stack. So you just get the field just like that. Let's try it. Okay. So CI dot get that, but instead of submit, it's gonna be error and then confirm password. And let's see what happens. Ooh. Actually, it's here. It couldn't do that. And it's trying to get the data CI error. Let me just inspect it and see if it's there. Actually, it's not. Have I done that properly? Data CI. Okay. It's a div. And let me just check if the div is passing everything. Class name, beautiful, it's working. So this should be there actually. Let's try to understand what we are missing. Data CI, submit, data CI, error input. No, this is the it should be here. Class and SVG. Okay, let me just do something so I will know that it's this div, the one that so no. Okay, beautiful. So let's just inspect it again. Yes, ID here. It has the ID but does not have the are you passing that down? You don't use props, so you don't I'm actually doing that but I'm doing yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm not doing the data CI thing in the div. So it's a div, and I need actually to get that. Okay, I believe I can do that. Labeled input. This is gonna be data CI. It's gonna be the div, and then let's just do the data CI. It's gonna be the data CI. Why is it working? Let's not complaining about that. Something. Let's just do that. I believe that my S-lint it's not working. Looking steps. I believe that I need to install a library. If I'm not mistaken, I need to install this. It's S-lint something. Yeah, S-lint plugin Cypress. So let's just do that. Docker execute iterative SPA yarn add this dev dependency. So let's just add it. And nice. Thank you very much. Now it's working. So data CI, it's gonna be a prop types, and it's gonna be a string. Yeah. Okay. Now I can get the CI perfect, and then let's just do the. Let's just open it again. There we go. It's gonna open, so let's just check the sign up again. It's gonna visit. Okay. Oh, work it. It worked. Nice. Can I? Well, actually, should I believe that we have a this should exist. Yeah. So the error should be there. Okay. And actually, not in just in this one, but if we do the same thing with the CI error, and then this is gonna be password, this should work as well, because if I have an error in the confirm password, I have an error in the password as well. So let's just check now. Let's just copy all of that, and now let's make the email not be valid. Okay, and the password is gonna be valid. So let's just copy this password and then okay, let's remove that because well, actually this is gonna be on email, should exist. But the HTML is validating, yeah. The HTML it's already validating the HTML is already validating the field, the email field. So let's just check here. I'm just doing text email. It's type email. Let's just put type text to check if we will have any problems with that. Run again. So yeah, it's gonna work because it's gonna make an error appear here, and then we could do that all day long. We could test for every single, so it's not with invalid email. Okay, nice. So we will not sign up with a user with a different password. Okay, so and then you could create it with invalid password and then invalid email, invalid name, invalid whatever. So you could actually test every single one and create a lot of tests here. But when you create a user, let me just go to the beaver. Okay, because I will just delete the user, but you can okay, close, I don't care. Okay, so TGS, this one, and then users, data, we don't have user yet. But if I sign up with this user, I just go to the login page. Okay, so let's delete the user. Oof. Delete it and save it. Okay. Ah, fuck. Okay. I can actually. I don't want to. There is an option that you could. No. Okay, because this is using different other places, isn't it? So you create a user, you create all the permissions and all that. And no, I don't actually. There is any way I could force it. Can I force it? I can just set it something. Yeah, I could just do something like that and save it. Okay, so it's just the username and mail that's going to check. So okay. The next test that I want to do is the one that works. Okay, so let's just do that, and then the email, isn't it? Yeah. So gmail.com, and then we can get the gmail.com, and then we can just do that. No. Oh, it's gonna sign up a user, isn't it? Yeah, it did. Yeah, but it's tried to. I should have removed that one right now, and should not exist. So when it's a good test, you're just going to get all the fields you have, and let's just do that. So it's gonna be email. Well, email is right there, so it's gonna be username. So username and confirm password, and of course the password one. And then let's just do it. Password. Okay. And then after that we will do the CI thing. Ah no, because I need to click. Yeah. Let's just go back. Okay. So let's just check it. Okay. So let's see. So it's getting every field and checking if there is no errors in these fields. Okay. So all the data, it's there. Okay. All the data that I've put is there, and then it's going and then sign up. But of course, this email already has been taken. So now I can check. I can create a second test that do exactly the same thing. So let's copy everything and then do that. And this test, it's gonna be exactly like that. Okay. It will sign up a user. It will sign up a user. It's gonna just sign up a user. It will not sign up a user with already taken email, for example. Okay. So this one will sign up the user, but of course this is having an error. We still need to check if it's in the next page. We will do that in a moment, but I want to work with the second test, that it is this one. Okay, so I need to get this field. So let's just get to sign up form and check this field. So we have the error wrapper. The error wrapper, it's a div. We already solved the div problem. So I can just do the data CI, and then we can just add a name to this data CI. That's gonna be server error. Okay. Nice. So I will just go back in here, and then I will just do that, save that, but instead of this, it's gonna be server error. Did I did that with yes, server error. So this is gonna be server error should exist actually. So let's check what happens. That one. Okay, let's check. There we go. So it's getting that div, that error div, and the error div should exist at my page. So how do I solve the other problem? So now when you go, you can get actually you can get so when you sign up someone, you send it to the sign up form. Okay, so let's go to the signing form actually, and then let's put So in the form, we could have a data cypress as well. So let's change our form to receive a data cypress, and then we are just going to do that data CI, and then let's just do the same thing. So data CI is gonna be a prop types string. There you go. So I do have that, so I can just go back to the form, and then okay, I have the data CI, and it's gonna be a string, and it's gonna be sign in form. Okay, so I should go back to that and say, hey, I want to find a sign form, and this should exist. Actually, this one is gonna fail. There you go. 1, 2, 3. It's failed, and the next one's gonna it's gonna work. If we go back to our database and then just add something here, okay, the user's there, and then we rerun our test. So it's gonna sign in as yeah. So everything is working, because as you can see, it's gonna check for all these errors, does not have the error, and then when it clicks, it goes to the next page, and then in the next page it will try to find the signing form. The signing form will be there, and now it's working. Okay. This is nice. So we could actually do the same thing for the signing. Now it's just going to get all of that. Instead of context root, it's gonna be sign in. Then we'll sign in a user. Okay, and then of course we can just get that and do the same thing. So let's just go to the home. Let's just paste it here. I just need to get that, and let's just add it here. Let's just get that as well, and then let's just add why didn't copy and paste. Nice. So this is actually working. So this is signing, and then I can remove that, and then I can just go back to the test and check the signing and see if it's working. Yeah. So let's just do the same thing. We'll not signing a user with invalid credentials. Okay, so I need to do that. Okay, so I need the same thing in the signing form. I will have this wrapper. Is it a div? Yes, it's a div. So now I have the data CI, and this is gonna be a error message. What you complaining about? Okay, just do that. Let's just do that, and then let's just do that. Okay. Okay. It's not complaining anymore. Nice. And now I have the data CI error message. And if I don't want a user to sign in, so I should do the CI dot get, and then the data ci equals and then let's just do that this is error message and should exist. Yeah, nice, it's still working. And now I will get that, and then let's get the same user we created in the, so the username is this one and the password is password. So let's just get the username and then the password is password. Nice. Yeah, because it's getting the, or it's trying to get the error message, but now we should go to the pages home. Is it come to home or do it again? No, yeah, it's going to home. So it has the header, the footer. Let's just add a data CI here, and let's call it home header. Okay. So what I need to do is to check should not exist. Okay, and one with home header should exist actually. And so let's just, it's already working. There we go. So it checks if the div is there. So most of the time, if you are working with Cypress, it's gonna be things like that. Of course, it can be very more difficult than that. And for example, you are validating a user email. You should check for email. So it's gonna be way more complicated than that. So models you could check, but actually, in terms of testing, you could do a lot in terms of forms and testing. You could actually do a lot in your application, and this would be very important, because if someone, for example, changes the form that creates the user, for example, we don't need the email anymore, or we don't use the username. This is one example. We don't need the username anymore. Now we are going to use the email as a username. So someone is just going to go there, some dev is going to say, "Whoa, this is simple. I'm just delete the input and it's working." So when the test runs, it's gonna say, hey, calm down. I was trying to do something that I could not do anymore, and you are breaking with that. Okay. Another thing that you can do with Cypress that I see a lot of people doing is to check the layout, and this is one not very important one. For example, if I want the user to be first, and then, for example, the name should be first, and then email, and then the username. So you can actually, because as you can see, Cypress can access the HTML DOM. So it can actually access all the DOM tree and inside the DOM tree it can access everything inside of there and check if all the nodes corresponds to something that was predetermined. Okay, and if it's there in the way that should be, it's gonna be valid, it's gonna be pass everything. If it's not gonna pass. The next step that I want to show you, it's you don't need to run Cypress in the application that I show you. You can just, instead of do the open, you can do the run, and then it's gonna run the tests. Of course, one of the tests is gonna fail because we cannot create a double user, so this one is gonna fail. Yeah, there you go. Okay, and there was another problem. The other problem that we have is the signing. It's running first and then the sign up, but I want to make sure that things run in the order that I want to. If you want to make sure that the things runs in the order that you want to, you can just go, you know, to these, and then you do the test files. Okay, and then here you're gonna add an array, okay, with all the tasks that you want to run, but it needs to be in the same order that it's in here. Okay, not the order, but the same folder, because actually I could create another folder here called TGS tests. You can do all the imagination you want to. For example, we could do the user story. Let's just do that. No, story. There you go. So I can just add that inside of the user story. Okay, there you go. Of course, this is gonna fail because I need now another one of that, and here it's gonna fail because I need another one of that. Okay, so let's save it, and let's save it. Okay, so let's just do the open. Let me just check if at least the signing works. What? User story. Do I have to? I don't think so. What do you doing? Can't I create a thing inside of that? Yes, but I believe that it was exactly what I was saying. So I believe that I need to now add the user story here, slash, and then the name of the file. It's gonna be that. Okay, then let's just do it, then copy, and then sign up. But of course I want that way. Okay, let's remove it. Let's just run it again. Okay, there we go. So I can actually create a folder inside of my integration, and then I just go to the Cypress JSON and organize my tests. So if I go now and do the run, you will see that the first test that's gonna be run, it's the sign up, because I said that's gonna be the first one here, and then it's going to execute that one. So in that way, I will make sure that the order it's followed. So let's see what I was saying. Yeah, Unity and IT testings are better candidate for testings validation and correct the values. E2E Cypress is better for user journeys. Test that a functionality works in the way it should. Um, mm, yes, yes and no. Nowadays, Albus, what I'm preferring is to do the validations in Cypress, and the tests that I do in the front end, for example, the unit tests, it's just to check if the component is gonna render on the screen. So if the component renders in the screen when I'm doing the unit tests, it's just what I need. And then I let all the data validation and the positioning and all of that to Cypress. So because it's way, I believe that's way easier to do the data validation, for example, into Cypress than to do that in the unit test. When you do that in the unit test, it's gonna be a lot of work to do, and in Cypress it's just gonna be just ci dot get, ci dot type, ci dot check should, and to check if it's there or not. E2E validations in Cypress are too expensive. Uh, do you think so? Expensive in what way? So let's just check. How Dropper said, how many use states can you have inside a context provider in React? How many? Well, as many as you want to. Actually, there is no limit to have a use states in the context provider if you're talking about the context API. So you can have as much as you want to. Of course, if you have like 4 or 5 different states in there, maybe you could divide the provider and create different providers, or create different functions inside your provider to improve that. So no performance loss, 1 versus 100 versus 1,000. If there is a performance loss because of the use state, the use state in there, because it's gonna render everything that's rapid. So every time that change is gonna change all the 3. I don't think that's gonna be something like well, every time you add code to your application, it's more things to do. So when you have more things to do, the performance. But we are talking about the speed. It's gonna be like we are talking about computers. So for example, if I have 1 state or 2 states, it's gonna be microseconds. It's not even gonna be milliseconds. It's gonna be microseconds to process it. I believe that this is not actually. I don't think that is gonna be a real problem into your application. But if you have functions in your context API, I would recommend to you to wrap it into a use callback. So the use callback would actually point to the function to the memory. And if you have something that would always change in the in your application, I would use a use effect to improve the application. And if you have something that instead of returning a function, it returns a string or returns a object or something like that, I would use memo to improve the speed of the application. But I was reading an article, I believe that was 2 or 3 days ago, and one guy was explaining about we are overusing the use memo, use callback, and all of that, and they were comparing. I don't have the article right now in front of me, but I will just get that and try to send it to you. But the thing is, you need to do things step by step. For example, don't just add use callback for every single function you have in your application, like just doing that because of. Check if you really need to do that. Check if it's necessary to do a use callback. Check if it's necessary to do a use memo. Check if it's necessary to create a new state and use state, because most of the time the problem it's gonna be that you don't have a problem, but now you are creating one. So first create your application and then checks if it has any kind of problems. If it has, then you try to solve that problems. Don't try to solve a problem that don't exist, because most of the time you're going to create a problem. Okay, so let's just get Alba. You need to visit the link, select the field, enter value, and check an error appears. In unit tests, you just need to pass values against your validation functions. Check why you even create 100 user states. Yeah. So 100 states is, well, if you have 100 states in your component, that should not be a component. That should be a lot of different components. But as I told you, I've been working with React for a little bit, and in terms of component, the most states I saw in one component was three states in one component. I've never saw more than 3 states in a component. If you're doing that, well, you should check and try to rewrite it, create more components from that one. That one, it's a big component, should like divide it instead of just using that. Our hooks is low because of creative functions render. I would just check that. Let me just read the other one. Yeah, I know that you're saying that when you are working with Cypress, you need to do all these steps and all this process. I know that, and it's gonna take more time, and probably it's gonna take more CI time, but it's not gonna be that much, because right now the CI is slow because it's creating these videos. So as you can see, every time I run my process, it's creating the videos is here, but you can actually pass a property in the Cypress JSON to remove that, so it's not going to create this thing. It's actually creating prints when there is any kind of errors, so you could actually make it better as well, so you don't need this print. So this is gonna run way faster. And as I told you, the CI process is something automated, so it's something that it's gonna run on a machine that you don't actually need to be there working. But when you do the unit test, validating all the props against all the things. It takes a lot of times from the software developer, you know, and the software developer should be focused on delivering features, and we have a professional that is responsible for the QA. That's the QA, actually, the quality analyst. So the problem is most of the companies does not have a QA, okay, and they totally should have a QA, and this would be the person responsible to do the tests, to work with that. So they could work with the unit tests in the front end, they could work with the Cypress and all of that. And the test is gonna take a lot of time in the CI process. The unit is gonna be the back end, the front end, and all of that. So I wouldn't actually be so afraid of taking too much time using the CI process. Unit tests are faster and will fail first, even if you optimize Cypress to run fast. Yes, I know, but as I'm trying to explain, uh, you can put all the responsibility of the tests into the shoulders of the software developer, you know, of the front end or of the back end. So imagine, because now it starts the depends again. Okay, so it's going to be a depends again. Are you working in a company that has 100 software developers working? So you have the possibility to have, for example, a squad QA to work with that. So of course, and now you can have a squad of software developer just to develop the tests. So you can do, for example, the TDD. You can do the tests first and all of that. Do you have team to do that? Because every time you develop software for a client and you try to put all these functions, all these functionalities, all these functionalities and utilities and all of that in the software, it's gonna take a lot of time to show to your clients something, to deliver some features, to go to the market. And sometimes when you are developing something to your client, there is something called time to market. If you are not in the market in the right time with your application, if you take a lot of time to go to the market and get what's in there, the opportunity that's in there, you're gonna lose it. So again, it's gonna be a depends. Okay, again, it's gonna be a depends. This is the reason, for example, that when I do the tests and when I starting an application, a new software with some client, I just try to render the components in the screen, because in that way I will be sure that when my application is in the production, everything will be rendering and will be on the screen. And for example, if the client just sends something that it's invalid, the backend will send a message to the front end. The message will be on the screen, and I will just check if the message in the screen and that what kind of message is there or anything like that. You shouldn't think about that in the beginning of software, because it's gonna take a lot of time, and time to market, it's really important for most of the clients. I know that as software developers and all of that, we really want to do the best possible software with all the utilities, with all the everything that you have. But at some point you need to decide, you know. And then when you help your client to go to the market and get that time to market, so the software is there in the moment that should be, and then your client's gonna get more clients, gonna get more money, and then with that money, the money is gonna come back to the company, and then it's gonna say, hey, now let's invest more, let's hire more people to do that. Because most of the software start with one or two people doing that. And I don't think that two people, back end and front end, are able to do all the software, all the tests, all the infrastructure, all the DB, all the designing, all the, it's a lot of things. Okay, so what I would recommend is start doing the software with the unit test is doing just the rendering, so checks if the things in the screen, so if it's there, it's nice, okay. And when you go to Cypress, try to use Cypress to validate these things, okay, because it's easier, way easier to do the validation things in Cypress, because Cypress will have the website in front of you. And if you try to do all the things with unit tests, in the unit test as the component, it's isolated, you will need to mock a lot of things. And when you are mocking these things, it will not actually represent what's going to production. So you're gonna mock the data, you're gonna mock the providers, you're gonna mock the server, you're gonna mock the server response, you're gonna mock a lot of things that it's not actually going to make sure that what you're trying to do it's what actually you're achieving. But when you do that with Cypress, you will be sure that it's gonna call the backend, it's gonna receive an answer from the backend, and all of that. And I believe that the Cypress test is it's more effective, because when you do it, you are sure that all the things that should be there, it's there. There's no mocking when you are working with Cypress. So I believe that this is the reason I would do that. Unit tests, I would just, in the front end, of course, unit tests, I would just do the rendering, and then the Cypress, I would do the validation, something like that. But you were right, okay? So if we just read the manual and look at that, you were right. In terms of fastest, the unit test, it's gonna be way faster than Cypress to check the validations and all of that. You are absolutely right. But again, the problem with science computer, it's because everything depends a lot, and you need to not just think about the code when you're doing that. You need to think about the code, your client, the client of your client, your team, your company. All of that should be taken into consideration when you do a software. Okay, so let's me just run that one last time, because I just want to make sure that this is gonna be this is gonna run on the this is gonna run actually. Let's just check it. Okay, it's passing, everything's passing. And there we go. Beautiful, beautiful. So I believe that for today it's enough. So we understood how to, install Cypress, the dependencies that's necessary, how to use the linting with that, and the tests are all working. The next step, and this is a big one, and I believe that we're going to take more than one live to do that. We need to add Cypress to the CI process, okay? So we are going to do that in the next live. We are going to understand how to do the famous Docker in Docker. And this is gonna be really, really, really necessary to run our application completely inside a CI process, and then run Cypress inside the CI machine, and the CI machine will provide everything. Will provide the database, the backend, the front end, everything, and then we will run. Okay, so the next live we will focus on the CI process, because as we can see, the tests are running and passing. I will of course remove the videos and the images, but as you can see we have videos. So open the containing folder, let's just check it and see. So this is a video of the test running, and then you can just get that video if there is any kind of error. For example, if we are working the CI process, if there's any error in the Cypress, you can just get that video and send it somewhere. Most of the people put on a bucket, and then you can just check what was wrong with your test. But actually, to make things go faster, I would just remove the videos and screens and all of that. But again, next live it's gonna be about CI process, Cypress, the CI process in Cypress, and we will understand how to do that. I believe I talked a lot today, and Bruno is really quiet in there. He's not saying anything. I don't know if you have any kind of experience with Cypress.
No, I don't have a lot of experience with Cypress. That's why I'm not. I'm not. I don't want to interrupt you.
Yeah.
I'm just learning today.
Yeah. And did you like it?
Yes, sure. It's a very good tool. I'm gonna use more often.
Do you think that it's a good tool for us to use on our company?
Yes, I do. And the storybook as well. I really like it, the two of them. I'm I really would like to use it here.
Yeah, and again, if it's difficult, it's wrong. This is the what I really like to say every time I'm working with, I'm doing my lives. I like to say if it's difficult, it's wrong. And Cypress and Storybook, they are so easy and help you so much that I would always work with Storybook and Cypress because it's gonna be really, your application is gonna be really awesome with these tools. So, guys, girls, and people, thank you very much for this night. It was a real good, and well, it was really nice to be here with you this night. I'm going to send you to Daniel, okay? And he's doing a live. It's gonna start in a moment. But thank you very much for this night. You were all awesome. See you in the next live. See you, Bruno. Thank you very much for this night.
See you. Thank you, guys.
Next live is gonna be all about CI in Cypress.
Nice.
Bye.